Hello everybody, welcome back to Uncharted, Drake's Fortune Remastered as part of the Nathan Drake collection. Picking up right where we left off, Elena here just busted me out of prison, and now we are escaping on this Jeep with the mounted gun. Now this section here, so this gun has like the machine gun and it also has a grenade launcher. Fucking horrendous on the higher difficulties. Like absolute, like you have to kill these guys so fast on the higher difficulties. It is ridiculous. And as you just saw, like the amount of dicking around that guy that I just killed was doing beforehand. Like now they are all scripted to where they drive. So like I think they are anyway. So like they all were supposed to do that and whatnot, like jump around like that and whatever. Now I also think that the grenade will kill all of them in one hit if it's a direct hit. But obviously to hit these guys on like the bikes and shit is a lot harder to hit them with the grenade. Like that right there, I just fired the grenade. I don't even think you may not have even seen that I had fired the grenade. Because I shot it like directly into the road. Oh god. Boom. Nope. Oh, I did get it. Now, as you can see, I'm taking a lot of damage because there are also sections like that where you can't really make out the people that are shooting. Like that right there, right? Like, because of the sheer number of explosions, it does have checkpoints, thankfully. Like the number of explosions, the number of, or the amount of bushes and that, you can get lost, or you can get them lost in it. And this is on normal difficulty. So imagine attempting to do this on brutal difficulty or on crushing difficulty even. Hard wasn't too bad. I mean, I did die some in hard. But yeah, as you can probably tell just by the fact, like, we're playing on normal. And I'm dying. So like the game is a lot harder than some games that come out. You know, but once again, it is an older game, and generally as the games or as we progress, you know, our games do tend to get a little bit easier, you know, more easily accessible to everyone, whatever, right? Whereas older games, even this one, it's not too old. I mean, I think Uncharted 2 was, I want to say PS2, but it may even have been PS1, I'm not sure. I'm going to go with PS2. So, you know, it's a couple generations ago. But yeah, even then, you know, they were still a little bit harder, because, you know, they could, like, the developers could take time. You know, like, they made the game the way they wanted to, and that was that. Whereas nowadays, they make the game however, you know, the majority of people, or whatever they think, will get the majority of people to buy their game, which means generally it becomes insanely easy. Also, I forgot about this. You can actually like shoot the trees and put them across the road. It will fuck them up if they hit them, but it is insanely difficult to actually manage to hit them with it. And just like any other gun, you know, the more you fire it, the less accurate it becomes. So you still want to burst fire it even against these guys. Your grenades recharge. They can hit the wreckage of their own wreckage and destroy each other, but you know, overall not too bad. Once again, absolutely horrible on the harder difficulties, like absolutely horrendous, just because of sheerly based on how fast you die. Also, since the last one, perfected Uncharted 2. That's right, brutal difficulty done. Speedrun 3.5 hours, did it in 3:20. Man, I was getting worried by the end of that. Let me tell you, when I was reaching the last boss, I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks. And the last boss, like the entire, like, you know, you can do the speedruns on easy, which is good. Because there's no fucking way you're beating this game in 3.5 hours on, well, that was the second one. This one here, I think was 4. I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, 2 down, 1 more to go.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, but you're bleeding.
Yeah, it goes with the territory. Let's get the hell out of here. Damn it.
Can I pause it? Resume subtask. Okay.
Going somewhere?
Hey, Eddie!
Did you really think you could escape from what?
Oh, no, I just giving the young lady the $10 tour.
Shut it! I bet you're working for them too.
What?
You thought you could set me up and keep everything for yourselves, hmm?
Damn it! This guy's crazy.
Eddie, take it easy, buddy.
Well, you're out of luck now! And out of road. Now, give me that map.
Hold on. All right, you got me, fair and square.
Hey, don't move.
Relax, Eddie. Just getting the map like you asked. I said, hold on.
I am.
Well, hand it over.
Well, now, you told me not to move. Looks like you're gonna have to come get it.
Come
So yeah, the most brilliant of plans. And that was the end of chapter 7. Not a very long chapter. Still one of the ones I got stuck on brutal difficulty. Right, now that I'm here, options, audio, volumes, sound effects, go down, music, down a bit more, speech goes up, movie goes up, there we go. There we go, that should mean less editing for me. So yeah, this is another section. Pretty much any section where it starts with enemies shooting you was horrible on brutal. Like, even though I used the tweaks to get the one-hit kill and infinite ammo in that, was still really bad because you died in one bullet, basically. I mean, there are very few times where I would get shot and not be dead. So yeah, like, like I said, brutal wasn't fun at all for me. The speed run was even fun, because there was times where it's like I was like skipping past guys and whatnot and being like, ah, I'm a cheeky little bitch. I will say though that like I said, 3.5 hours for the second game, did it in 3:20, was worried by the end of it. I did fuck up a little bit doing the second one though, because in this one here, when you do the speed run, if you hit start and go to restart checkpoint during the speed run, it will reset you to whatever time you're at the checkpoint. In the second one though, it doesn't reset it when you do that. What you have to do in the second one to save your time is to reload. Didn't get the headshot, but whatever. Is you have to go to start and hit quit to main menu, and then when you hit continue, it will continue at that checkpoint. So it is a little different and a little bit. So yeah, like there was a couple times where I hit restart checkpoint, not remembering that I had to do that. Like I had read beforehand that that's how you had to do it in that. Oh, I don't want the fucking useless shotgun. But that's how you had to do it in that one. I just forgot. So like I was doing it and it wasn't working, and I noticed a couple times, and then I remembered and got it. So I probably did it without the fuck ups. I would say probably 310. Like even with the fuck ups, I was barely closing in. 310, maybe even 315. Like I know I don't have that. I didn't have that much time.
Before the bridge.
That's very funny.
Oh, come here a minute. I want to show you something.
That thing still works?
Uh-huh. Check this out. Okay, see this building in the harbor? That's where all the boats coming into the colony would have unloaded their cargo. So if the El Dorado treasure came to this island, it would have had to have come through here.
Wait a minute, what was that?
What?
Rewind it.
Yeah?
Wait, stop.
Uh-huh.
Right there. That's our ticket out of here. Come on.
Our ticket out of here? Are you giving up?
Maybe you hadn't noticed, but we're kind of outnumbered.
We're doing fine so far. I don't know.
Elena, I don't need your bullet-riddled corpse on my conscience. Let's go.
Oh, please. You quit if you want to, but don't use me as an excuse.
Fine. It's me, okay? I am quitting. Are you coming or not?
So that's it. You're just gonna forget about the treasure and forget about Drake?
God damn it, this is not worth dying over.
Okay. Okay. Listen, either way, we have to head back to the harbor. Don't worry about it. We can argue about it later. It'll be great.
Wait. This time, I drive.
Okay.
See now, don't like she's in number 2, right? Oh, X's go. Okay.
Get it. How
Because
does a
then I
whole
have to aim and
colony
shoot, and
just
she
drop
got
out
a
of
grenade
history?
launcher from somewhere. So yeah, she's in 2
Looks like we've got
for
company.
a good chunk of it. Not the whole thing, but a decent chunk. Like she's there at the end. She doesn't show up right away at the beginning. She shows up. I don't know, halfway maybe. I don't know if that's the halfway mark or not. I imagine, I don't know. I think a little bit before halfway, but then there's also a few sections where she's just not there. So, I mean, like she shows up and then she's not there for a bit, and then she shows up again, and then she's not there for a bit, and then, you know, she shows up for the rest of the game at some point. But yeah, like you get to see,
You're gonna have to cover us.
like, I don't know what to say, because, you know, I realize that these games are old, so really, if you wanted to know the story, chances are you already know it and everything, so I should be fine with spoilers, but I still don't want to, you know? Because, you know, now that I've finished 2 and perfected it and whatnot, you know, I do plan on doing that after this one. I have decided that after I finish the first Uncharted, I will continue on to the second one. You know, I feel like most channels don't bother with certain things, like some channels will do, let's say, like, well, let's go with like the first Uncharted, and then they won't do the second or the third one. Oh god. Or like, for example, the Crash Bandicoot remastered that came out, right? I just watched Achievement Hunters, well, not just, but a little while ago. Achievement Hunter did a well, so they call it a let's watch. It's when one person plays and the rest are just sitting there talking with them, which is fine. It's still a let's play. I mean, it's still people playing. I mean, I'm calling this a let's play and it's just me. There's not even anyone else there. But, well, you know, besides you guys, but I can't really talk with you guys. Yeah, like they did the first Crash Bandicoot for it. And
Yeah, now we just gotta
they
find a
played
way
through the
in.
whole game. Even after it was done, they
I
did
read a
come
story
back
once about
and
a
do
cursed
the
Inca
bonus
treasure.
level.
You don't
Like there's a secret
suppose
level
that-
as you play through the
Please
game. You
don't
get
tell me you believe in that.
Cortex tokens in a
just
couple of the
saying.
levels that are hard to get. You
Something bad
finish them, you get a
happened
key,
here.
you get both keys, you get a
Whole
secret
colony
level.
doesn't just up and
That was
vanish.
supposed to be like like it was so hard that I
Well,
got
how
cut
do
from
you
the game,
explain
right?
it?
And then if you get all the gems in the game, there's another bonus level that you get at the end of the game, and you get a special
Looks
cutscene
like
for
that
it.
cable would get us
So
up there.
after they finished the
Go check
game,
it out.
I'll stay here and keep an
it was
eye on
Michael
our
playing
ride.
it. Michael went home,
See
he
if
got
can figure
everything,
a
he
way to get us to
100%ed
that
it,
tower.
and then he came back to the office and he did the final 2 things. He got the all the gems and everything off camera, you know. More or less like what most people do, like that I do with collectibles. Wow, that was a perfect shot, by the way. He was about to throw the grenade, I shot him, and it fucked up his throw. And yeah, he threw it right next to an exploding barrel. That was great. But yeah, and then I don't, like, they haven't yet, and Achievement Hunter generally isn't good for that kind of stuff. Like, so odds are you won't, like, they won't do, like, he won't come back and do the second and third game. Which is, you know, technically that's fine. I mean, he played the game and he beat Crash Bandicoot 1. Like, there's no obligation for him to do the second one. Would I like to see him do the second one? Sure. I mean, I like Crash. I never really played Crash as a kid. I played the third one, because that was the only one I had. But, like, I never played the first one. I never played the second one. So, like, when the game first came out, Game Attack, they did a couple of streams. They stream, they don't make, like, videos. Or at least not very often anymore. They streamed for, like, an entire day or so of Crash, and he beat the first 2 games. He beat Crash 1 and 2, and then they did another stream where he did 3. It was like he beat it in like a couple hours. It was actually, I remember, oh, cover, right. I actually didn't think that Crash 3 was that short, but apparently it was. But yeah, so, like, you know, I did enjoy it because, you know, I got to see the whole thing. especially since it's a game that I don't plan on. Like I said, having never played the first two as a kid, I don't feel as obligated as some people probably did to buy the game. Oh, fuck me. I keep hitting the wrong button for cover. Oh, no, take cover. Whereas, like if they came out with a Spyro the Dragon remastered with, like, you know, Spyro, Ripto's Rage, and, oh, fuck, what was the third one called? Year of the Dragon, maybe? I think so. Maybe. I don't know. It's the one where you collected the eggs and had the animals. Like, I would honestly feel obligated to buy that. Now, I realize that, you know, you shouldn't feel obligated to buy any game just because it's like, oh, you play as a kid. But Spyro was one of my first games. So, like, you know, if they made a remastered of it, I would feel very obligated to buy it. Okay, this way. To buy it, and, like, I would play the fuck out of that game if they did it. Whereas Crash, like I said, I played number 3, but having never played 1 or 2 before, I felt zero. Fuck, I probably shouldn't have tried for the jump. I do that a lot in this game too. There is a special kind of jump you can do. It's where you're going off of a ledge. He does like that little thing where he whips around backwards. You actually have a moment during that animation where you can jump. So you can actually do that to get a little bit of a longer jump. I know speedrunners use that a lot, but I've done it a couple times by accident. But I don't, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, is the risk worth the reward, right? Like, because if you fuck it up, obviously you just fucked it up, and you're probably gonna, and you're still gonna die. Whereas if you do it the normal way, assuming you know what that is, like right there, I just forgot that I had to like drop off the ledge and whatnot. Yeah, and then, you know, you do it the normal way, you know how long it's going to take. So this, I don't think it's this section. I think it might be, there's 3 sections like this, right? Like this is the second one of them, where you're on this fucking little sea-doo here and doing this shit. The first 2, you have the grenade launcher, and it's really fucking easy, especially on anything other than, you know, the higher difficulties. Like crushing, this was difficult. Brutal, it was, well, brutal. It was, well, just like everything else in Brutal, it was unfair. Because once again, you die so fast, and you can still shoulder swap and use, like, if you're behind cover, they can't hit you, even though you can hit them thing. But there's still, like, a lot of hiding. Like, you still have to know, like, there's a lot of, how do you, can I, okay, I can back up. There was still, like, a lot of, like, dying, because, like, I didn't remember quite where everybody spawned. So, you know, I would die and then have to come back and do it again and whatnot. But then there's one more section after this, and I think it's the next section with it, not this one, where there's like a separate speedrun trophy for it. God, I am so damaged right now. Nathan, like Uncharted, just like most games, you know, you take bullets, and then if you wait long enough, you just regenerate your health. You know, obviously bullshit. You're not gonna just come back from bullets. You're not gonna walk it off. But then on the other hand, you know, video games, you know, you want the game to be fun. So if you make it impossible, then nobody's gonna fucking play it. Although not true, I guess. You know, there are people who make games that are more or less impossible, but, you know, technically doable. Oh, right, that's what I gotta do. So, and people still play them because it's like, oh, then, you know, they'll have this, like, I beat that game. Oh, I am elite. You are sucks. You are noobs. You know, whatever.
You've got to get to that
but
tower.
I generally don't play games like that. Like, I'll play games that people say are hard. I'll give them a chance. For example, Dark Souls, right? When I first heard about Dark Souls, I'm like, I have zero interest in that because it's supposed to be so fucking hard. And then the first one was free on the 360 at one point. So I'm like, well, you know, if it's a free game, right? Like, if I don't like it, I don't like it. So who the fuck cares, right? Played it, fucking loved it. Why? Because it was hard, sure. But not once during Dark Souls did I think this is impossible. Like, yes, it was difficult. Yes, there's a lot of parts that were really hard. Honestly, the worst parts about Dark Souls to me were the parts that involved jumping. Because if you don't know, in Dark Souls, your run to sprint, you hold down circle or B or whatever, depending on what. That was, by the way, the reason I was standing there like that was because I was trying to figure out what the fuck button was take cover again. But yeah, and then your jump is while you're running by holding circle or B or whatever. You have to let go and then tap the button again. So like I played on the Xbox, so you know it was hold B, and then if I wanted to jump, I had to sprint, and then let go of sprint, and then hit the button again to jump. Now that is a horrendous fucking way. Now in Dark Souls 2, they changed that to like you still had to be sprinting, I think, but it was like they had original as an option, but then they had another one where it was running, and I think it was like you click in the right stick or something, which is also insanely weird. But having them on separate buttons, definitely significantly better. I'm going through a lot of fucking ammo. Do I have it? Nope. Gotta go for more headshots. Uncharted, very much a headshot heavy game. Like, you definitely want to go for the headshots. They are insanely, like, necessary. Well, not quite necessary, but they're still insanely helpful. And I can tell you that they're not insanely necessary, because as you can tell by the way I fight, generally don't try too hard for the headshots. Why? I don't know. Probably because, like, I'll go for headshots in games like Sniper Elite or certain ones where it's like stealth, maybe, is why. It's like when there's no stealth, it's like I just want to blast them and get the fight over with. Like, I realize that if I manage to hit them in the head, it saves me a bullet, and it does get the fight over with. But at the same time, like that right there, while I'm trying to aim for their head, they're just gonna pop me one. Which makes it a lot harder. Because it does fuck up your aim a little bit. What the hell blew up next to me? Oh, I think there's a guy with a grenade launcher to my right. Okay, get behind cover. Forgot about that guy. It's been, you know, it was just last week that I finished Uncharted 2, but doesn't mean I remember Uncharted 1. That's been a while now. Oh, shit. Every time that you see me do that, by the way, like get close to cover with like the right, like the proper shoulder, and then, ow, fuck. And you see me switch like that, it's because it doesn't look right to me. Like, it looks like I should be able to see more than I can. See, now this right here is a bullshit shot, right? Like, yeah, see. Oh, fuck. Nope. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I didn't realize I had ran out of ammo. Come here, you gun. Oh, my. Let's just do that. Aha. Got you. I will say, it is nice playing on normal and, oh, God. Having guys die from body shots. Like, there are a lot of games, well, not on normal, obviously, but there are a lot of games, including Uncharted, where when you put them on the higher difficulties, body shots are more or less completely worthless. Like, unless you have, like, in this game, the only way a body shot isn't worthless is if you have a power weapon like the Magnum or the Desert Eagle or the Sniper, then, you know, a body shot will, and then, because then, you know, they just die. Oh, God, and poop. Yeah, nope, you don't get away either. There we go. But yeah, like, unless you have those, then, you know, body shots are fucking worthless. Whereas if you have those, that's what you should go for. Because it's an insta-kill, whether you hit them in the head or not. So you just want them dead, right? But, yeah. I mean, just like most games, you know, Uncharted does have the sad fact that because video games, you know, body shots don't do anything. There are very few games where people die in a reasonable amount of bullets. And by very few, I mean almost none. Oh, fucking, that gun was full, so I only got one fucking bullet, even though damn it. Whole point of meleeing that guy was to get extra ammo. Oh, and this guy also has the pistol, so that doesn't even make a difference. But yeah, like Rainbow Six, I think, is one of the few that are like, hey, when you shoot somebody, you know, they actually get shot. Whereas games like Uncharted, Tomb Raider, everything else, that like Call of Duty and that, even on the higher difficulties, like, you'll take, like, that's one thing, right? It's like, if they put it on a higher difficulty for a shooter, it should just be like you take more damage. They should never fuck with how much damage the enemies take, because in real life, it doesn't fucking matter. If you take a bullet, you're gonna fucking feel it, and you're gonna go down. So, like, I haven't played too many Rainbow Sixes, I will say that right now, before somebody in the comments is like, oh, are you kidding me? Rainbow Six is bullshit. The one I've played is Rainbow Six Vegas 2. It's the one and only Rainbow Six game that I've played. And I know that even on the higher difficulty, you know, the higher the difficulty, even on easy, you can't take very many bullets. But even on the higher difficulties, the enemies don't take a whole lot of body shots to die. Like, you can still kill an enemy by shooting him. Which is nice. Like, it's called realistic difficulty. Because I want to say, it has been a while since I played it. But I want to say that in... Where is he? It looks like he's jumping somewhere. Okay. That in Vegas 2, that the higher the difficulty, the only thing that changes is how much damage you can take as a person. I think. I could be wrong. Damn it, I missed his head. Come on. Up here. Oh, fuck. You didn't run out as far as I thought you were going to. Is that it? Just the one guy. Okay. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all that changes is the amount of damage you can take. Whereas in a game like this, and most of them that are out there, when you get to the higher difficulties, not only do you take more damage, but the enemies deal, or not the enemies deal less. But the enemies take more damage as well. So there is that, which sucks. Because, yeah, like when you have stats, like, you know, damage dealt, damage taken, whatever, right? If you're going to make difficulties for a game, pick one of them and increase that. Don't increase them all as you increase the difficulty. Increase one or two of them, not all of them. So, like, don't decrease the amount of damage a player can do. Like, don't increase the amount of damage the enemies can take, shit like that, right? Or if you do that, don't decrease the amount of damage the player can take, right?
These must be all the old ship manifests. Still seem to be in good shape. Hey, check this out. This looks right. The Esperanza sailed from Callao, Peru, carrying 800 bars of gold, 1,200 silver emeralds, golden masks, ornaments.
Whoa, reading 16th century Spanish? Not just a grave robber after all, huh?
Right here. Gold statue. Weight, 20 arrobas. That's over 500 pounds. That's gotta be it.
Wow.
There you are.
That thing kind of gives me the creeps.
Huh. That's the last entry.
That somebody special?
What? Oh. Yeah. I guess you could say that.
Huh. I had you pegged as more of a woman in every port kind of guy.
Don't I wish? No, this was Francis Drake's ring. I, kind of inherited it.
Sic Parvis Magna?
Greatness from small beginnings. It was his motto. Check out the date.
29th of January, 1596.
One day after he supposedly died.
Wait, what are these numbers right here?
Coordinates, right off the coast of Panama.
Oh, so that's how you found the coffin.
Yeah, that's right. See, Drake left this as a clue to pinpoint the exact burial site.
For someone clever enough to figure it out.
Yeah, nice try. But we're still going for that boat. Yeah, I'm afraid this is as close as we're getting to El Dorado.
Alright, so back to getting to the boat. Let's see, this was chapter something or other, Customs House. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, we should get 2 more. Oh, really, dude? Okay, I need to back up here. Don't fucking shoot at her. That is one nice thing about this. Oh, fuck off, dude. Okay, see, now that was way too many bullets. Like, point blank with an AK and he took that many bullets. That's a lot of bullshit right there. But what I was about to say, and praise the game for before... okay, fucker. That's bullshit. Anyway, was that, like, that guy walked in there and turned to face Elena. Now, what I was going to say, because I don't know if I brought this up or not, she is invulnerable. Whenever you have somebody with you, they will never die. Now, a lot of games, once again, comparing this to a lot of games instead of actually naming any, but when you have partners, they will either be... I think I did bring this up before. They will either be invulnerable, but do no damage. Okay, was I being shot again from somewhere? Or they will deal damage, but be very vulnerable to attacks. And by very vulnerable, I mean at all. Oh, right, there's a dude all the way up there, isn't there? Yeah, there he is. And line it up. Boop. Oh, God. Right, grenade launcher asshole again. I must have had a sale on grenade launchers at some point. Where do you even buy a grenade? Like, oh, I guess they're pirates. But I mean, there's just like a lot of stuff where it's like, you think that that would be like so restricted to buy. That like not even... Ow, 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 ow. Fuck, did you not die or are you a different dude? I think that's the same dude. See, that is one issue with this game when you go for a headshot. It doesn't always count as a headshot. Like that guy there, I shot him in the head like 3 times. The last one, I think, may have been the headshot. But because, you know, he had his arm up or something else. Now, up here is fairly worthless. I mean, you come up here, you can pop that guy in the head. And it's more or less just to get the drop on that guy. You can just walk up the stairs if you want. But yeah, I don't know what the point to that part is. Besides, you can, like I said, get the drop on that dude.
Oh, I don't see any boat, Nate. Looks like we missed our chance.
No, there it is. On the other side of the harbor. Come on.
Hey, you know what? Why don't I just wait here and you can, swing around and come back and pick me up?
Okay, what are you up to?
Nothing. I just want to, you know, stay here and get some more footage. I'll be safe.
All right, fine. But promise me you'll stay put. Whatever that means.
Is it fucking... Yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, with enemies at. But like, thankfully in this game, not only is anybody with you invincible, they also do damage. They still do decrease damage compared to you, obviously. Otherwise, you could just let them do everything. But you will see them shoot and kill people, which is nice. Because in a lot of games, your partners won't do anything, and they're just like a liability because they won't do any damage. And you gone? Nope. Don't think I actually made it through the window on that one. But yeah, like, because they will either, yeah, because they won't do enough damage, or they will die repeatedly on you. Like, I can't tell you how many games with a partner. I'm trying to think of the one, like I have one in my brain right now, but for some reason I can't for the life of me think what the fuck its name is. But going with a game that oh god, not this room, that I feel once again does it well, not to toot fucking whoever makes its horn, but once again, Rainbow Six Vegas 2, when you go through that, it's you and a squad of people, so like it makes sense that you know, like you can control them and whatnot. Like you can tell them what to do. You can tell them to stack up near a door, right? Like this is how I played that game on professional difficulty. I don't think I ever finished it. Not because it was too hard or anything. but because I always play it with somebody, and then like we just never get around to finishing it. Come on, stay dead. Oh. Come on, stay dead. Nope, you're not. You're not even a little bit dead. With how many bullets you just took to the gut.
That's gonna help.
Let's get this guy out of the way right now. Okay, where are you?
No.
There you go. Yeah, like I would tell them to stack up next to a door. I go to another one and then, you know, tell them to breach, you know, flash and clear, or they would breach and clear. And they would go in and, you know, they were vulnerable to damage, like they could be killed. But they were very good at what they did. Now, when playing on professional, I more or less had to rely on them. Because every time I would walk into a room, I would immediately die. But even then, they could go down. And they would. Like, they would die. They would go down. But I never really felt like they were a liability. Because they still did it well enough that even when they went down, like, you could get them to go down and, like, one of the other guys that were with you would go and resurrect them. So this part here is another one that is fucking horrendous on the higher difficulties. Now, there is a trick you can do to speedrun this and not have these guys spawn, but I could not get it to work. What you do for it is before you turn the lever out there is you take cover next to it and you just keep wiggling your stick back and forth. Is that really all of them? And then like you just keep wiggling your stick back and forth and eventually Nate will bug out and walk through, or not walk through, but like he will take cover and be going through the wall. And then you're supposed to be able to drop in here and then none of the enemies will spawn. I couldn't get it to work because I got him through the wall, but the enemy spawned anyway. I was on my brutal playthrough. So what I did and had to rely on was exactly what you saw when I came in here. Is I dropped in, I took cover behind this thing and used that as my cover and just shot the guys as they came close. And then even when I got to the point where I got to the machine gun there, I still had to be careful even with the one-hit kill because of the sheer number of enemies that were coming at me. Oh, okay, I'm full up on ammo. Good. So like even with the one-hit kill infinite ammo, I still died on this part a couple times to get through it on brutal. Yeah. Oh god. So I did decide to take a little bit of a break from Uncharted though after doing the second one, because the second one was just I was getting so angry by the end of my brutal run that I just needed a break from Uncharted. Obviously not from the Let's Play in the first one, but
Hey,
Let's go, let's go! How did you get here?
you really need to see this.
Now is really not the best time.
No, Nate.
What are you doing?
You really need to watch this. Just
What?
Don't forget to stop on the dock.
and hello. He's alive.
Huh.
Hurry up.
I don't know, Nate. I mean, how much do you trust this guy? It's not exactly like they're holding him at gunpoint.
I know.
We got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it seems weird. But no, Sully's a lot of things, but he's not a backstabber. Which way were they headed?
Northish. Yeah, towards the mountains.
Okay, it's gotta be the monastery. Let's go.
What if it turns out he's working with them?
We either rescue him, or we beat the crap out of him. Hell, I might just beat the crap out of him anyway.
But yeah, I just needed a little bit of a break from Uncharted before I start into number 3. But I am excited for number 3. A friend of mine who's played them all has said that he liked it way better than 2. He also said that it's like playing a movie. So, you know, I don't know if that means that's just like insanely easy or what, but I mean, I'll take it if it is. After number 2 and it's bullshit, like, I'll gladly take a movie-based one. I need a little bit of range with my punches there on Nate. Like, unless they're directly in front of you, which makes sense, you know, it is a punch. He shouldn't teleport to them to punch them, but... I mean, just a little bit of go, man. Would be nice. Okay, I'll take that because I don't have very much ammo for that for the micro Uzi there. So, all right. Oh, look at this nice looking bridge. Nothing bad can happen here, right?
How does something like this happen?
See those scorch marks?
Uh-huh.
Somebody packed this place with enough gunpowder to blow it wide open. Ooh. Watch where you step. Some of these boards are really falling. Elena, I can't hold on. Give me your other hand. You've got to let it go.
Damn it! Oh, shit!
It's okay. Come on. Come on.
See, now if that had been like an action movie or something, she wouldn't have let go of the camera. And he may have dropped her, but she would have shown up later perfectly fine. So, you know, there is that. But yeah, I am a little bit excited for number 3. And then after that, here's the thing about it, right? Is I know that as soon as I finish 3, I'm going to want to play 4. Why? Because I perfected 1 and 2. I plan on perfecting 3. So if I can perfect 3, which I haven't heard any reasons as to why if I finished 1 and 2, I wouldn't be able to do 3. Let's see. Fuck you. Okay. So like I said, I haven't heard any reasons why I wouldn't be able to perfect 3 if I've done 1 and 2. Like I don't know if it's harder than 2 or not. Based on what, like my friend, like I said, he told me a little bit about it. Like I said, he said it was like playing a movie, which is fine. I don't mind games like that. But I asked him about armored enemies, because like in number 2, that was like the worst thing to me, was the enemies with all the armor. And he said that and the only enemies that he could remember were there was guys with helmets that you couldn't headshot.
This river ought to take us right up to the monastery.
To me, that's nothing. Like you'll see when we get to 2, or you'll already know if you've played it yourself. But enemy like that, if the hardest guy is a guy with a helmet, like compared to the enemies you fight in 2, that's fucking nothing. Like absolutely nothing. So now I think this here's the 3rd one. Yeah, and I've got the pistol. And this is definitely the one where it has the speedrun time for it. Now I want to say that the speedrun time for it is like 7 minutes or something. Like it gives you a little bit of leniency, but I think this one did take me 2 tries to get. Obviously, it makes the most sense, or this level here does make sense when you play it for it to be a speedrun. Because, you know, like, here's the thing, right? This game's speedrun I enjoyed. Oh, they actually take a little bit less damage now. Or just Elena has a bigger gun than Nate. Because there are very few instances, like insane. I think there's something with that you can do like a weird bug with that waterfall or something, but I'm not sure. There are very few instances. Oh god, that was really close to me. Ow. Where you don't have control. Like when you do the speed run, right? It puts the clock up so that you know what your time is, but it has 2 times up there. It has total time for the continuous speedrun, like for the whole game. It has the total time that you've been going and the time that you've been in your current level, which is nice. It means, oh my God, that was okay. This is on normal. Remember that. That was on normal. And I just got fucking annihilated there. Which is nice because it lets you know, because then, you know, people will know, like, if they end up, like, taking too long or something on a certain part. Fuck me. God damn. What the hell, guys? What the absolute fucking hell. Alright. See, now this part sucks because, like, I can technically aim in that from it, but there's a lot of sections in here. Oh my god, what is killing me so fast? The water pushes you back is what I was going to say there. Is like, because it is a river, so when you sit there, you know, you go backwards with the current a little bit. And there's no way to, like, if you could drive and aim, it wouldn't be bad. But the fact that you can't does, you know, obviously leave a little bit to be desired. Maybe I was hitting, no, like, I know I wasn't hitting the barrels. I don't know what the fuck was killing me, but somebody just kept fucking annihilating me there. Holy hell. But yeah, then you know that if you're, you know, in certain, okay, I got them. In certain sections, if you're taking way longer than you should or something, and it's like, oh, well, I've already fucked this. Or then it's like, oh, well, then I know that I'll really have to do well on this next section. And, you know, it's just good to know, right? So yeah, you have those.
God's sakes, Elena, hit
Where
the
the fuck was I
barrel!
going with that? Alright. So like the clock stops. Like you can watch the cutscenes even if you're doing a speedrun. You could watch the cutscenes. The clock doesn't run during those. But the clock runs outside of that. Like any point outside of that. Now this one here, there is very few times. And by very few, I mean none that I can really think of. But, you know, I can't say that there wasn't any. There's very few times where shit was happening, but it wasn't technically a cutscene, so the clock was still running. Whereas in the second one, they're like both of these have three time-based achievements in the original, for the original. And then like the continuous speed run is in the extended collection trophies, so you don't technically need it for the platinum. But I don't consider just having the platinum to be 100%. Like, there's more to it that's not 100% if you only have the platinum. I can't see who I'm shooting at there. So yeah, like this section here, as you can see, I've had control the entire time. In number 2, there is so fucking many times in that game where you lose control over Nathan. But the time is still rolling. Like, there are so many sections where that will happen, where it's like you don't have any control over what's happening right now, but it's adding to your time. Come on, aim faster, Elena. Don't shoot him. Get that guy. Damn it! Fuck me. You can't. See, now this is one of those points where, like, people would be like, if you were on the PC, you could aim faster. It's like, no. I mean, no. Because, like, on a game like this where you have, like, 2 separate buttons to aim and shoot, like in Call of Duty and that, sure. Because you can shoot without going down sights. But in this game here, I mean, you still have to adjust way more than you would need to in those games. But yeah, like, there's so many times, like, there's, like, the speedrun trophies in that one, I barely managed 2 of them, right? There's one for, I don't remember what it was. But there's 3 of them anyway. There's one for doing, I want to say, one of the train levels. Oh god, I somehow hopped over that. And then the other 2 were just like normal levels. The normal level ones, oh fuck you, god damn it. Like the normal level ones, I barely beat. Well, I guess the train one is a normal level as well. Like, I don't know why I said that. It is just a normal level. You're just on a train during it. But, like, the train one, I finished with, like, a minute and some to spare. Now, you know, a minute's not very much, but when the speed run was for, like, 7 minutes, like, a minute's quite a bit of time left. Oh, fuck me. So, you know, that was, like, wow, alright. But the other 2 levels were for, like, I think 5 minutes and maybe 6 minutes. I barely finished them. Or I barely got the trophies for them because there was so much of the part, or so much of the levels that I didn't have control over my character. Like, there's so many, like, in-game type cutscenes where I didn't have any control whatsoever over what was happening or how fast it was happening. And I just got screwed by it. Get you. See, now this here's the part that sucks. Because, like, I'm trying to line up shots and whatnot, but the river is pushing me backwards and fucking up my shots. Okay, get you. Get you before I... Damn it, I think I hit the wall too much with that. Yeah. There we go. But yeah, there's way too many parts where I didn't have control over Nathan. You know, shit was going down and it, like, I didn't have any control, so I just ended up having to watch my timer tick away. Like the one, I think the one was like for 5.5 minutes to beat the one level. And I watched, and by the end of it, like out of that 5.5 minutes, I think I did it in like 5 minutes, like 10 seconds, maybe 5:20, 5:15, something like that. Not a lot of time left. Like 2 of the minutes, I had 0 control over. Like there was 2 minutes worth of in-game stuff that I couldn't do anything during that time.
Let's head up to the monastery and see what's going on.
Okay, so that's 13. Sanctuary. Sanctuary is... That should be fine. If it, yeah, it should be fine to continue. Sanctuary, this will be the last chapter we do, though. But yeah, there's just a lot of times in it where I didn't have enough control over it. So, like, I really felt like... And that was a problem with, like, the speedrun, even. Like, I know that there... Fuck you, shoot me while I'm in cover, you son of a whore. I'll fucking kill you, you prick. There we go. But yeah, like, that's where I feel like I lost most of my time in the continuous speedrun as well. Get the gun. Was in the sections, because, like, there's just so many sections in that game where you don't have any control over your character. And it just kind of sucks that when you don't have control. And some of them were really bad because it was, like, an in-game cutscene right before a regular cutscene. So it's like you would lose control, a bunch of stuff would happen, and then it would go to a real cutscene and stop the timer for you. And it's like so much stuff happened just before that, and yet the timer was running for like 2 out of the 5 minutes.
Would you slow down? One of Eddie's goons could be up ahead.
Or like for like a minute before the
we left those
actual
clowns in the
cutscene
dust
started.
ages ago. My God, that's disgusting. Oh, I wish I had my camera. So what? The Spanish booby-trapped the island to protect their gold?
This wasn't made by the Spanish. Take a closer look at the spikes.
You have got to be kidding me.
This is from our plane.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense, though. Why would someone set traps like this when their own men are crawling all over the island?
They wouldn't. Something's been here since a trap was sprung.
Something or someone? Do you think that...
Shh. Do you hear that?
Hear what?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're being watched.
Watched?
Yeah, you know what? It's probably nothing. Let's just get out of here before we run into whatever's been chewing on this guy.
Okay.
So I am going to end it here. I just remembered how much is left, and I think it's a little bit too long for this. So that cutscene there doesn't really get explained until almost the end of the game. Like, that is a very weird cutscene to throw in here for how much later it is before you figure out what exactly is doing this. But yeah, this will be it for today. Next video, we will end up in the monastery like we said we were going to, and then a bunch of shit happens. Go figure. Don't have too many videos of this left, honestly. It's not a very long game. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.